Imagine a world where machines can think, learn, and even create an idea that once belonged only to myths and legends, but today stands as one of the greatest realities of our time. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is often seen as a modern invention, but its story stretches far deeper, rooted in human imagination long before the first computer ever came to life. The history of AI is not just about circuits and algorithms, it's about humanity's timeless dream of building something in its own likeness, a reflection of our curiosity, ambition, and sometimes even our fears. The earliest whispers of AI can be found not in laboratories, but in mythology. Thousands of years ago, the ancient Greeks told tales of Talos, a giant bronze automaton built by the god Hephaestus to protect the island of Crete. In Jewish folklore, there was the Golem, a creature of clay brought to life through mystical rituals, meant to serve and protect. These stories, though wrapped in magic, revealed a profound truth. Humans have always wondered if life could be created outside of nature itself, whether through divine power, alchemy, or one-day technology. These myths weren't just entertainment. They were early reflections of our fascination with intelligence beyond the human mind. Centuries later, as the Renaissance unfolded, imagination began to merge with science. Leonardo da Vinci sketched mechanical knights that could sit, move, and wave their arms. The Age of Enlightenment saw inventors building intricate clockwork automata, dancing dolls, writing machines, and mechanical birds that seemed almost alive. To the people of that time, these marvels weren't just toys, they were glimpses of a possible future where the boundary between human and machine blurred. Yet the real transformation was still waiting for one essential invention: the computer. In the 19th century, a quiet revolution began with Charles Babbage and Ada Lovelace. Babbage imagined the analytical engine, a machine that could perform calculations beyond human speed. Ada Lovelace, often called the first computer programmer, envisioned something even greater. She wrote that such machines could one day compose music, create art, and extend human creativity ideas so far ahead of their time that they seemed impossible. But Ada's vision was more than a prediction. It was the first spark of artificial intelligence in the language of science. Fast forward to the mid-20th century, and humanity stood at the dawn of a new era. The world had just endured 2 devastating wars, and technology was advancing at a staggering pace. In 1950, the brilliant mathematician Alan Turing asked a bold question: can machines think? His famous Turing test proposed that if a machine could converse with a human without being detected, it could be considered intelligent. This was no longer myth or speculation, it was a scientific challenge, one that would fuel generations of researchers to come. By the mid-1950s, the term artificial intelligence was officially born at a historic conference in Dartmouth College. Scientists like John McCarthy, Marvin Minsky, and Herbert Simon believed that within a few decades, machines would rival human intelligence. The optimism was electric. Early programs could already solve math problems, play chess, and even mimic conversation in very simple forms. It felt as if the dream of intelligent machines was just around the corner. But progress proved more complicated than expected. The following decades brought both breakthroughs and setbacks. In the 1970s and 80s, what came to be known as the AI winter cast a shadow over the field. Funding dried up, promises had outpaced results, and many began to doubt whether true AI was even possible. Yet, like the myths that never faded, the dream endured. Researchers quietly pushed forward, developing machine learning algorithms, neural networks, and new ways for computers to recognize patterns. Slowly but surely, the pieces were falling into place. Then came the explosion of data and computing power in the late 20th and early 21st centuries. Suddenly, the very thing AI needed most, massive amounts of information and powerful processors, was available. Machine learning evolved into deep learning, giving computers the ability to identify faces, translate languages, drive cars, and even generate human-like text. What once belonged only to legends and laboratories had entered our daily lives. Every time you unlock your phone with your face, ask a virtual assistant a question, or scroll through personalized recommendations, you are witnessing centuries of human imagination made real. But with great progress comes great questions. As AI grows more capable, we find ourselves both amazed and uneasy. Will machines surpass us? Will they take our jobs, shape our choices, even challenge our very identity as humans? These are not new fears, they echo the myths of the Golem, the Automata, and the stories of creations that sometimes turned against their makers. Yet, they also remind us that AI is not just about technology. It is a mirror reflecting our hopes, insecurities, and values. The history of artificial intelligence is not a straight line of invention. It is a story woven with myths, dreams, failures, and triumphs. From the gods of ancient Greece to the code of modern algorithms, AI has always been about more than machines. It has been about us, our endless drive to explore the unknown, to push the limits of what life can be, and to ask the daring question, what does it truly mean to think? As we stand today, on the edge of even greater breakthroughs, where AI can create art, discover medicines, and reshape entire industries, we are writing the next chapter of this history together. The myth has become reality, but the story is far from over. The choices we make now, the ways we use and guide AI, will determine whether this creation becomes a partner that uplifts humanity, or a force that divides it. So, the next time you hear a machine speak, compose music, or even write words that move you, remember this: you are witnessing the echo of an ancient dream, carried across centuries, born in the minds of poets, scientists, and dreamers. From myth to reality, the story of artificial intelligence is ultimately the story of us, and the future it leads to is still being written, one decision at a time.